Hey guys, Eric Cogorno here with my good friend JT Thomas for Performance Golf. In today's video, legitimately one of my favorite videos, one of my favorite concepts that you're gonna get in this video here on how to start the downswing. Now, JT and I have been teaching for a long time. We've seen a lot of different golfers, and there's two key moves that if you have these in at the start of your downswing, regardless of what else is going on, you're gonna have a lot of success and hit it really good.
Yeah, for sure.
But the opposite of that is if you don't have these two key things, no matter what else you do, it's gonna be very difficult. We're gonna show you what that is here in today's video. JT, if you take your setup for me here.
For sure.
So we've got a little quadrant system set up on the ground. And I saw you do this with a student once. I thought it was so darn good. Maybe let's run through what the quadrant is. And I know the two moves we're gonna talk through. One of the big concepts is how the body moves.
Yeah.
To start the downswing. One of them is how the arms move. So maybe quadrant part first.
Yes.
And then let's go through the body motions.
Great. So the quadrants here are going to go in clockwise formation. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, just for your reference. Help you understand as we're going through this process. So the reason we have them here is because we're going to first talk about how the body moves to start the downswing, right? One of the most important things we can do to help reduce some of the chaos that we all have at the top of our swing is really moving forward into this quadrant 1. So this is where we want our body to move to start the downswing, is towards quadrant 1. Main reason is that really helps us move the low point forward, again, which makes our contact ultimately pretty solid. We see a lot of golfers, right, struggle to get their low point forward, struggle to have good contact. This is why it's so important to do this, right? No matter what the rest of it looks like, if you can make sure that you start your downswing by getting some pressure, some weight towards quadrant 1, you're gonna be in a really good spot here, you know, to hit the golf ball solid.
Yeah, one of the things I heard you say once that I thought was so good is you said, we're gonna get the body moving forward to control the low point in contact early. To get that done with, to get that out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. So we're saying by getting the body moving forward, that's gonna help us hit ball first, ground second, hit the ground some amount in front of the golf ball. That's the big key. Now, when you say body forward there, JT, I guess two questions. One, are we talking whole body moving forward?
Yeah, so it's really mostly kind of like the middle of your body, I would say. Right, you don't want your everything to go too far forward, but again, if you're a golfer that backs up away from the golf ball, early extends, that might be a good feeling for you. But in reality, what's happening is that kind of this middle part of our body is moving down and forward towards quadrant 1.
Okay. And as we're doing that, like, why doing it on this angle in quadrant 1 compared to, like, let's say quadrant 4?
Yeah, so that really helps us with a little bit of our path and you know, how our arms work. So if we were to kind of go up to the top here and shift our weight but get a little bit more towards quadrant 4, you guys are seeing down the line, sort of the shaft is a little steeper, path a little bit more to the left. So this helps us control our path a little bit as well, making sure that when we shift forward, we don't quite open up right away.
So we're going forward for the low point. We're staying in quadrant 1 to keep the chest and shoulders a little more closed. That helps keep the arms and club in to swing from inside. And just real quick on that, like, if you're struggling with your game right now, odds are it's either contact related, right? Think about your own game. Either you hit it fat or thin. We're getting rid of that with the forward part, right? Or you struggle with direction, probably those pulls or weak fades. We're gonna solve that with the arm part of the equation, right? So I guess before we dive more into the arms, JT, could you do 1 or 2 rehearsals? I know one way with the club across your shoulders. Can you show us that little drill?
Yeah, for sure.
To feel that, maybe 1 or 2 rehearsals and a hit.
Swing tips got your head spinning like a slot machine? Let me help. I'm Martin Chuck, one of Golf Digest's top 7 instructors. And let me tell you exactly why most golfers stay stuck. Most golfers don't realize this, but every player has about 5 swing flaws. The key to improving isn't trying to fix them all, it's knowing which one to work on first. Because when you fix the right one, it creates a domino effect that clears up multiple other flaws automatically. At Performance Golf, we use a process called the immersion method to find and fix your root swing flaw. This is a 48-hour in-person experience where you work directly with me or one of our other world-class coaches to fix the one thing that's been holding your game back. We host these schools at beautiful locations across the country where golfers like you improve fast.
I like most about the school is they're not trying to rebuild your swing and start you from scratch and change your grip and change this and that. They look at your swing, they find the flaw, and you fix it. It's brilliant.
If that sounds like a breakthrough you've been waiting for, click below to see if there's a spot open. This could be the only thing that finally changes your game for good.
So again, this is a great way to feel and kind of, you can see where your shoulder points, you can see where your body points. And again, we're trying to point it towards quadrant 1. So to start the downswing, first movement, you'll see I'm pushing my body forward there in towards quadrant 1. You can see the butt of the club stays in that spot.
So good.
Versus again, we get some bad ones where we'll spin out too fast. So making sure we're pushing forward, keeping the shoulders feeling a little bit more closed, again, really helps with our sequencing too.
Keep that on there for one more second. I got questions.
Yep.
So one of the bad versions I would assume is if they don't go, if a golfer doesn't go forward, so let's say they hang back too much.
Yep.
Let's see that one where they don't go forward enough. They're going to hang back and hit behind the ball, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one of the things we see.
Yes, for sure.
Or you're saying the secondary one is, oh, hey, the golfer did go forward, but they're too open, too far
fast.
left. Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yep.
And when you do that drill, JT, what are you feeling is going on? Are you feeling like the left shoulder's working down and forward, more weight in the lead foot? Like, what are you feeling?
Yes, for sure. So I'm feeling definitely my left shoulder going more down and forward. I'm basically experiencing my upper body, or my mass, my torso, going down towards my leg, and my leg sort of absorbing that energy.
Okay.
So that's the way that we want to feel it, is we want to be driven by the mass of our torso, our chest going down, and we're kind of landing on this leg is what I like to call it.
I like that. And not being afraid to like exaggerate that a little in the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. We're trying to, if anything, hit these balls thin, right? That means that we're really moving the low point forward.
Yes.
If you struggle with fat shots, it'd be a really big deal. So just gonna bump one out here with that same feel.
Yeah, nice.
Making sure I get my quadrant going here.
Yeah, awesome. And you can see when we look at the divot pass there, obviously that's gonna be ball first, ground second contact.
Absolutely.
So if you struggle, if a golfer struggles with contact, they might want to live there for a little.
Yes.
Kind of focus mainly on that part first and getting the forward motion. But let's assume they're starting to do that. Yeah. Cool, hey, I'm hitting it pretty solid. But man, I'm really struggling to swing from inside.
Yeah.
Like no matter what I do, I can't swing from inside. I maybe get these pulls and slices. In with feeling the forward part, obviously you mentioned kind of staying closed a little bit. Could you give us a little feel or reference where the arms should be when we start down with that?
Absolutely. So the arms are really going to help us, again, dictate that swing direction.
Okay.
And so if you're struggling, you're getting the low point, right? So you're starting to hit the ball solid, have some compressed shots, maybe a little bit thin, but they're going like low to the left. That would be your cue to say, okay, I need to maybe start working on my arms and where they are in space.
Okay.
So that's what we use the quadrants for. Again, here is where my arms or my hands are and relative to these quadrants.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if I'm coming down, okay, my body's in quadrant 1, I'm in a good spot, but my hands are already out in quadrant 2, no good. That's going to be the too far out and over, too far across, kind of low pattern.
Yeah.
Versus, again, when we go up to the top and we feel like the arms stay more back here in quadrant 3 or inside, that's going to help us or promote that more inside out swing path. Again, start to curve the ball, maybe draw it, hit it higher, all those things.
I like that. Let me hop in there real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
So the feeling and sensation, let me see if I can go through that. Club across my shoulders, grip to the left for reference. So I'm going to feel like my body, I'll make a full backswing turn.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of get it back behind the ball. I'm going to feel like my body's going down, a little bit down towards the ground.
Yes.
A little bit forward towards the target, and actually a little bit forward towards the ball.
Yes, a little bit.
Kind of we're combining.
Yeah.
So it's like a double forward.
Yes.
Down, forward, forward. Into here. Definitely feel the pressure more in my lead foot, lead quad.
Yeah.
Like if there was like a scale underneath my foot,
yes,
I'm probably increasing that quite a bit early.
Yes.
And so that's the upper body feel. And then you're saying, okay, when I do that same thing, I'm trying to feel the arms stay a bit more in.
Yes.
So relative to this line on the ground, which you guys can see, the line just in front of my toe line. Okay, so the arms are staying in. The arms are staying in. And for most everyone, right, we need to feel both of those things pretty good.
Yes.
The only golfer, maybe 10% of the population, who maybe hits too much of a hook, you got to learn how to get out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but get into it first.
For sure.
So down and forward with the body, arms staying in. One rehearsal.
Yep, love
that.
that.
I feel like my shoulder, almost my shoulder, like my lat, maybe my oblique, are all pushing down and forward.
Yeah.
Arms, and JT, when I'm doing the arms and I'm kind of getting the down to like club parallel to the groundish maybe.
Yeah, for sure. You don't
Something
even
like
have to
that.
go that far really.
Just early.
Just early, yeah.
Okay. So I got a little right to left wind. I got my pole out there. I already draw it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna maybe have a little bit of a bigger draw here, but that's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would expect.
Yeah.
I hit that very solid, started maybe 15 feet right at my target, drew about 5 feet left, 15-yard draw. I would take that all day.
All day.
So if you're the golfer who struggles with pulls and slices, you're probably gonna do this drill for a long time. It's gonna work right away, but you could do the same thing for a long time. If you're the opposite, JT, with the golfer who hits the push and hook, you can still do these same things. You just gotta learn how to rotate out of there a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And you can feel if you're that, if you are the golfer in that 10%, 5%, you can feel your hands, more on the outside, right? So more in quadrant 2.
Yeah.
But I think more so than any, for everyone is you gotta shift first, right? So if you're starting there, if you don't even hit the ball solid, you should be doing all your practice drills of just making sure that you start to hit the ball solid first, get that solid contact out of the way, move the low point early forward. Yep. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I thought when you said that, I mean, most everything you say is genius, but get the pressure and body forward to get the low point taken care of early.
Yes.
It's like, that's so darn good. Love this little quadrant drill. I don't know where JT got it from, but that's what I learned it from.
Yep.
Very, very good, very useful. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you like this video, consider sharing it with a friend. Clicking that little like button helps us a lot. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching.